Yeah, this one's for the makers, the dream chasers, the ones who see the world and then reshape it. The true creation, yeah, 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 yeah. It started with a spark, turned into a flame. The true creation, now the world knows the name. Building dreams with precision, carving out the path from digital tools to success that lasts. Faceless but present, the vision is loud, innovating every step, inspiring the crowd. AI-driven moves, creativity and stride. The true creation is the movement worldwide. Late nights, big plans, hustle on the climb. YouTube lives at 7, always on time, teaching how to rise, how to pivot and thrive. The true creation shows you how to arrive. Every project a masterpiece, every tool refined. From tech consultations to content design, turning concepts into action, ideas into gold. The true creation is a story that's bold. True creation, where the future takes shape, breaking all the boundaries, no limits, no gates, turning passion into purpose, leading the way. The true creation sets the tone every day. No ceilings, no chains, we break every frame. The true creation rewrites the game, empowerment and grind perfectly aligned. The true creation isn't just a brand, it's a state of mind. Let the vision grow, let the legacy shine. For the ones who dream big, we redefine time. Creators, innovators, the spark of the nation. The future belongs to the true creation. Keep moving, keep building, no hesitation. Turn your passion into purpose. This is the June creation, the June creation.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the June Creation Live. This is where creativity meets digital excellence. And tonight we are unlocking the power of professional photo editing. And it's not just for the aesthetics, but it's for the storytelling, the branding, and the visual impact. Editing is not just about fixing mistakes, it's about bringing out the best in every photo. So, whether you're here to refine your skills or whether you're just starting out, you guys are absolutely in the right place. So, I'm Mel, and I believe that creativity is a form of freedom. For years, I've been obsessed with how technology and creativity come together to create magic. I built the June Creation to empower others because I know how overwhelming these tools can feel at first. I do go live every Monday, that's the new time, every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern to share knowledge, to unlock potential, and to make digital creativity fun. So, we're not just learning buttons and tools. We are mastering a skill that can transform careers, it can transform brands, and it can transform confidence, okay? By the end of this session, you'll have a clear understanding of Lightroom's powerful editing capabilities. You'll have hands on experience with Photoshop's game changing tools, and you'll have the ability to create stunning professional level edits. Most importantly, you will walk away with creative confidence because editing is an art and art is personal. Editing is where the magic happens. It's the final touch that turns a good photo into a masterpiece. In today's world, your visuals are your first impression. Whether you're a creator, an entrepreneur, or just someone who loves great photos, quality matters. A powerful image can tell a story, it can evoke emotions, and it can even change the way people see the world. So tonight is more about learning tools. It's about elevating your creativity and stepping into your potential. The beauty of digital art is that you don't need expensive gear. You just need vision and you need the right tools. You'll need Adobe Lightroom for bringing out the best in your photos with color correction, lighting, and detail enhancement. You'll need Photoshop, where creativity has no limits, from retouching to full blown transformation. All you need is a photo to practice on and an open mind to experiment. And you don't have to stress over perfection because growth happens through trial and error. So it's time to create, because the best way to learn is to jump in and experiment. Drop a fire emoji in the chat or let me know that you're here so that I can know if you're ready to level up. And remember, there is no right or wrong in creativity, it's just endless possibilities. So, tonight we're going to start unlocking the power of professional photo editing, and we're going to have some fun while we're doing it. If you are not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to us now. Scan that QR code. This is an old screenshot, so it does say 1.27K subscribers. We are actually at 1.5. We're at about 1.5K subscribers. So let's run that number up if you guys are ready to learn, if you guys are interested in using technology and creativity to your advantage. And before I get into the next message, here is a message about TubeBuddy, which is sponsoring this video.
If you're serious about growing your YouTube channel, TubeBuddy is the ultimate tool to help you achieve your goals faster and more efficiently. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced creator, TubeBuddy offers a suite of powerful features that streamline your workflow, boost your visibility, and enhance your content's performance. With TubeBuddy, you get access to advanced keyword research tools, intelligent suggestions, and data-driven insights that help you optimize your videos for more views, higher engagement, and better ranking. TubeBuddy's simple interface integrates seamlessly with YouTube, so you can manage your channel from one place, saving you time and effort. From crafting compelling titles and descriptions to optimizing tags and thumbnails, TubeBuddy helps you get the most out of every video you upload. Plus, its analytics and competitor research tools allow you to track your progress and outsmart your competition with smart data-backed decisions. Ready to take your YouTube game to the next level? Sign up for TubeBuddy today through my affiliate link and unlock all the tools you need to grow your channel.
And lastly, if you are not a part of our Facebook group, make sure you scan the QR code, because this is where all of the announcement happens. I provide the link to the lives in the Facebook group. I let you guys know if I'm going to be able to go on live that day. That's just basically where all the announcements are. Also, shout out to the people in the comments. Shout out to Camille Essick. Okay, AI. Yes, this is cute. Hey, Camille. Thank you for joining the live. So now we are going to get started. And here we are in Lightroom, and this is the image that we're going to be editing today. So Lightroom is where your photos come to life. It's about enhancements, like I mentioned, color grading, and bringing the best out of your images. And some of the key features of Lightroom is that it's non-destructive editing, so your original photo stays untouched. It's simple, where you can just adjust the light, the color, and the details. There are presets, which you can use for quick professional grade edits. It's perfect for batch editing multiple photos at once. It's ideal for photographers, influencers, and brand who want a clean and consistent look. And you should really just think of Lightroom as your photo enhancer, because it makes good photos great by perfecting the exposure, the colors, and the details. So, like I mentioned, this is the photo we're going to edit. But before we bring it into Photoshop, we need to edit it in Lightroom. So, as you can see here, I just added this photo 15 minutes ago. Basically, what I did was I do have the Adobe Creative Cloud, which is how I have access to Lightroom. You don't have to get the whole cloud package. You can get just Lightroom or just Photoshop or whatever Adobe tool you desire to get. However, I have the Creative Cloud, which gives me access to tons of Adobe products. It's not only Lightroom. I have Photoshop. I have Audition. I have InDesign. I have Illustrator. I use all of these different tools for different projects. So for this project, we're going to be using Lightroom and Photoshop. And if you guys are worried about the price, if you are a student and you have a student ID, you can get a discount with Photoshop using your student ID if you are a student. Okay? So now to get started, one of the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the edit panel, which is right here on my right. And as you can see, there are different sections. There's a section for light. There's a section for color. There's a section for effects. There's a section for details. There's a section for noise reduction. There's a section for optics. There's a section for lens blur. What else? And that's it, right? For the sections right now. So we're not going to use every single one of these sections, but we are going to use some. Also, there is the option of just doing an auto edit when you can just click here and do auto. And it's telling you that once I clicked auto, this is the image. And if you want to see the before and after, if you want to show the original, if you're on a MacBook, because I'm not sure how the Windows computers are set up, under the delete key, you're going to see the slash button, like the backslash. It's like this one line and the backslash. If you click on that button, that's how you can do before and after. So this is before and this is after. And this is just an auto edit, which fixes the exposure. As you can see, it lowered the exposure by -20. It upped the contrast by 5. It decreased the highlights by -2. It upped the shadows by 44, upped the white by 7, minus the blacks by 18. It also upped the vibrance. What else did it do? I think that's pretty much what it did. But let's say if we don't want to do the auto settings, let's say if we want to manually edit the lighting and the colors ourselves, this is where we would come to the slider tool and make those edits. So I can slide this like so. And the way I like to edit things is by eye. Everything for me is by eye, and you can do it by eye as well. This is your image to edit, right? This is your project. So with whatever project you're doing, you're giving it your artistic look. Someone might say, this is too bright. The exposure is too low. But you are the editor, so you're going to give it the style that you want. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just going by how it looks and going that way. Let's see. Shadows. I'll leave right here. You always want to up the whites if you have a white background. And we're going to get more into that background once we get into Photoshop. And I kind of like to blacken it a little bit. For the temperature, let's see. Kind of fine with the temperature. I'll do a -2. I'm not going to mess with the tint. For the vibrance, I will up it a little bit, especially since our model has on a red suit. So I just want that red to kind of pop a little bit. Saturation, because, hey, I'm all about color, especially when it comes to melanin skin. And if you look at the color mixer, you can actually click on it. Like, let's say if I click on red, being that he's wearing red, I can adjust the hue, saturation, and luminance. But one thing I want to tell you is that when you're dealing with African American people, there are some red undertones. So you messing with the red colors can easily mess with their color of the skin too sometimes. Right now, it doesn't seem to be messing with the color of the skin. But as you can see, it's actually, I think it's messing with the color of the lips, because I see the color of the lips changing. But as you can see, his suit was red. We can make it pink. We can make it orange. We can make it like this yellowish color. Okay? I kind of like the red. I'm going to stick with red, especially since Valentine's Day was this week or last week. It's already Monday. But you can also mess with the saturation of that red. So you can kind of make it brighter. And then there's like the luminance as well. So I'm just gonna leave it as that. I'm not gonna mess with the texture. I'm not gonna mess with the sharpening. I am gonna come down here and I'm gonna do remove chromatic aberration. And basically what this is it reduces color fringing that is most commonly found around bright lights and sharp edges. So usually color fringing is caused by the lenses. And what color fringing is, let's say if you ever zoom into an image, I don't know if this image has it, but like you might see these yellows, or right now we have the option to defringe the purples and the greens. But that's basically what it is. Sometimes you zoom into the image, and because of the lens, you might see like greens and purples, and that's just basically saying you want to remove that. So like you see here how there's like this purple. If I do remove, it should remove it. It doesn't look like it made much of a difference. Let's see. I'm gonna up the amount. So you see, once I up the amount, that little purple is gone. That is what chromatic aberration is. That is what chromatic aberration is. And even though right now what we're doing is editing it in Lightroom, once we get to Photoshop, you're going to see how I remove the blemishes, how I make the skin smooth, and how I do all of these things. But before we get to those things, we do have to do our little Lightroom edits. We're going to remove all of these blemishes, all of the wrinkles, all of the backdrop paper that's folded. We're gonna do that in Photoshop, you guys. I love doing this stuff. We're gonna do it in Photoshop. It's gonna be amazing. So I removed the chromatic aberration. The next thing is enable lens correction. And this basically corrects for inherent lens errors. So if there's any bulging, distortion, or edge darkening caused by the lens, by checking this off, it will fix it. Once I check it off, you'll see that the image will kind of look flatter. See? So it's like, a lens kind of has like this roundness to it in the front of the camera lens. And by the way, I'm the one who took this picture myself, you guys, because I am also a photographer. So when you take a picture with a lens, and if you think about a lens is not flat. It's kind of like round, kind of like a fisheye type of vibe, right? So when you enable the lens correction, it just removes the roundness around the edges, because that's the part that's the roundness. So I'm going to do enable lens correction, and it kind of just flattens it out. The next thing I want to do is I want to fix the aspect ratio. So I'm going to come on over here to my crop tool. And the aspect ratio that I want is a 4:5. And the reason I want 4:5 is because that is Instagram portrait size. So I'm going to come here and I'm just going to put in 4:5. And it gives me this. And then I can adjust it. So I'm going to hit enter. Yep. So once I have it adjusted, I think that's all I want to do before I move into Lightroom. There is a way to auto adjust the like the rotation of the image. I honestly have not been in Lightroom for a while. So looking for it but can't find it. It really should be here. Okay. If I click on auto right here, so the image is pretty straight, because when I do shoot these images, I do use a tripod, and my camera does have features where it can give me a grid so that I can know it's straight. So that's why this is kind of already close to auto. But if I turned it like this, it would do that. But once I hit it back to auto, it pretty much put it where we put it once we changed the aspect ratio to 4:5. And if you're interested in knowing what camera I use, I do have a Canon camera. I'm a Canon girly, and I have the Canon EOS 5D Mark IV camera. And I have a Canon lens. It's a Canon zoom lens. and it's EF 17 to 40 millimeters. That is the camera and lens that I use for the flash, because with all images you need a flash. I use a Godox flash. Okay. Is it Godox? Yeah. It's the Godox with strobe. It's like a strobe. WB87. That is what I use. Okay, so I'm just gonna hit enter. So now I have my cropped images. But you're probably like, Mel, what is this? Like the wrinkles in the clothes, the wrinkles in the backdrop, the blemishes. We're about to get to that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on the image and I'm going to go to edit in Photoshop. So right click, edit in Photoshop. You can also browse what you want to edit it in, right? Some people have Capture One. Some people have different tools. Me, I'm all about the Adobe tools. I'm editing in Photoshop. So I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to click on edit in Photoshop. And then it's going to open up Photoshop for me. So let it open up Photoshop for us. Let's see. Let's just give that a second. It's loading. It's loading. And voila. Here we are in Photoshop. Now, before we get to the good stuff, I do want to notify you guys of the website. The website is www.thejunecreation.com. And if you're interested in leveling up your brand, this is the perfect website to go to. I have Canva templates, Midjourney images, ebooks. You can check out the prompt vault. I got the Midjourney AI prompts because we do a lot of Midjourney on this channel. But right now, you guys have requested Photoshop for the longest. So we're getting into the Photoshop. We have the Boss Babe ebook cover image collection. We have the lace front wigs. And also, once you get on the website, after a few seconds of scrolling, you will see this pop up. And you can use code JUNE10 exclusively for 10% off of your first purchase. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. We also have the branding services, which are our most popular services that we have. We have the Your Path, Your Plan custom growth sessions, and it's tailored to give you guidance to address your specific goals, whether that be digital marketing, Shopify setup, content creation, personal branding, and more. It's a real-time walkthrough and tutorial with just me. It's not a live. It's a live in terms of me and you are one-on-one, but it's not like a group thing like we're doing now. It's just me and you, and we kind of go through all of these things. I give you constructive criticism of your work. We have the dedicated time to ask specific questions, and this session is a whole hour and a half, you guys. Definitely worth it. We also have our custom image-based logo services. So if you're interested in a logo, which you should be if you have a business or a brand, this is the perfect place where I create high-quality logos for you and for your brand. There's the fully customizable Shopify website, because no one is going to take your business seriously if your website does not look professional. You guys see my website, it looks professional, and I've created professional websites for viewers who watch this channel as well. So make sure you check that out. We have the brand promo. So if you're interested in me shouting out your brand on this live, we get pretty good engagement and pretty good views. You can look at the analytics. I do brand promo. There's account setup service with screen share. So if you're interested in the YouTube monetization or just, showing up with your brand online, I help you set up accounts for YouTube, for Facebook groups, and I kind of walk you through that whole process. You do it yourself, which is why it's a screen share. And I also help you set up the first post for each platform. There's the Canva Pro one-on-one personalized design masterclass. So if you're interested in a one-on-one class on Canva and something you want to create, I do that. I do the same for Midjourney. We also have the YouTube monetization session, because guess what? Your girl is monetized on YouTube. And here I give you guys the blueprint on how you can do it quickly. I did it in 2 months, and you could probably do it in less. We also have the YouTube thumbnail design services, right? We're on YouTube right now, and if you look at my thumbnails, they look amazing. And I can create custom YouTube thumbnail designs for you. And lastly, we have the custom AI visuals for your brand. So even if you don't invest in one of these amazing services, you should at least invest in the visuals for your business and for your brand. And this is what this is. We also have ebooks, and the ebooks that I want to point out to you right now is Master Your Home Photography Studio, because the image that we're editing today was photographed in my home photography studio. You wouldn't know. You would think that it was somewhere that I booked, that I rented out. Nope, absolutely. I transformed an area in my home into a whole photography studio, and this shows you how to do it. This will also give you details on the backdrop that I used. It will give you details on the cameras that I use, and pretty much how I was able to profit off of this. And also, if you're interested in investing, there's also an ebook for setting up your home for short and midterm stays. I have the stock images, which I briefly touched on earlier. We have the Midjourney AI prompts for the lippies, the lace front wigs, Pretty in Pink, the Sunflower series, and Vintage Glam Luxe. And we also have an image collection for the Boss Babe ebook covers, which has over 100 images where you can just take them, delete the background, erase the background, and put them on your YouTube thumbnails, put them on your ads, put them on your graphics, okay? And for all the Etsy's out here, if you have Etsy, we do have this Canva mockup, this Canva template. It has 70 Etsy listing mockups, including video. Now, without further ado, let's get back into the tutorial. If you're ready and if you're excited to learn all about Photoshop and what Photoshop can do, hit up the comment section, you guys. Like the live. I only see 7 likes. Can we get the live to 10 likes? We're 20 minutes into this tutorial. Let's see those 10 likes. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this background layer and I'm going to drag it over this plus sign, which duplicates the layer for me. Now, the first thing that I do when it comes to these images is I take care of the background. I take care of the wrinkles, okay? You're about to learn some Photoshop magic right now. So to take care of these wrinkles, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the brush tool and I'm going to click on the regular brush. So right now it's at a size 700, which I'm fine with. The mode is normal, opacity is 100, flow is 75, smoothing is 0%. Okay, we're good with that. The main thing that's important is not the size of the brush, but the softness of the brush. You want zero hardness in this. You don't want it to be hard. You want it to be a soft brush. You don't want it to be a hard brush. So once I have my soft brush, I'm going to make sure that I do have this white because the background is white. If the background was yellow, then I would be selecting yellow. If the background was brown, then I would be selecting brown. But the background is white, so I'm going to continue to keep the background as white. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to start filling it in. Just going to start painting on it. I'm going to start painting and I'm going to lift up my brush every few times because I want to make sure that I don't get any paint on the vest, right? So we're just painting, painting, painting. And I hope you guys have an image to edit and follow along with. If you guys have any questions, this is a live Q&A, so make sure you ask the questions. As you can see here, close to the vest is still wrinkled. I'm not going to get too close to the vest because I don't want to get the white paint on the vest. We're going to address that soon. And as you can see, once I start painting over this side, it looks so much brighter than the other because there were shadows involved, right? The shadow was kind of involved. The way he was just kind of like affecting the color of the backdrop. So I'm just painting it white. I'm just going to paint it white. I'm going to paint one big white paint all around our model, like so. You can make the brush smaller. You could do that with your bracket keys, or you can just go up here and make it smaller. But I use the bracket keys. And now that I've made it smaller, I'm going to zoom in, and I'm using my 2 fingers to zoom in. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to paint. We're painting. We're painting the backdrop. Okay? Let's paint. Let's paint it on up, you guys. And feel free to ask the questions because as I'm painting, remember, this is a live class, so you're getting everything in real time. There's no editing it out. You're going to be sitting along here with me as I paint this. Sorry, guys. So make sure you guys ask those questions as I am painting. Ask those questions. Okay? So we're painting. And don't worry if the paint doesn't look even. I'm going to show you what to do next. Okay. Let's leave it here, right? So we've kind of painted our image. Now, the next thing I want to do is with the same brush tool, I'm going to right click it and I'm going to go to the mixer brush. And I'm going to make sure that I'm zoomed out, right? Because now is where we're mixing the previous color to the new color. So now we're mixing the paint. Before we were just painting it, but now we're mixing. We're going to blend. So I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to blend it out. You see how it's blending? Where you don't see where it begins or ends. We're just blending it out. We're blending. It can seem time consuming, but just blend it out, you guys. Blend it out. I'm going to make my brush a little bit smaller so that I can blend it out. Because we don't want to see any sharpness. Don't want to see any sharpness. So we're blending it out. Still keeping a little bit of his shadow though. Let me do this side. Make my brush smaller. As you can see, it's blending. And like I said, I like to do this at a distance. Just so I can see where I'm at. See how it looks. You always want to see how it looks from a distance because when people are looking at the image, they're looking at it from a distance. So blend, blend, blend. Blend, blend, blend. Whoops. Why is my spinning wheel on? Hold on, you guys. This application is loading. All right. Blending. Blending. Okay. Blending. This area needs some severe blending. You make my brush a little smaller so I can blend this area out. Okay. And if you want to see the before and after, so this is the before so far and this is the after. Before, after. Before, after. Okay? So that is why blending is important. Blending is important when it comes to your image. We're using the mixer brush to blend. We painted and now we are blending. Okay? We painted and now we are blending. So I'm ready to move on to the next step if you guys are ready to move on to the next step. And the next step is one of the fun parts, the blemishes, right? So I'm going to zoom on in here. Let's zoom in. And look at the quality of the image, you guys. This quality is top tier. So what we're going to do, the first step when we're going to edit this image is we are going to use the patch tool. This is my favorite tool. If you don't recognize the patch tool, you might see it as the spot healing brush tool, the remove tool, the healing brush tool, the patch tool, the content aware move tool, or the red eye tool. So we're doing the patch tool. Okay. So with the patch tool, we want to make sure that it's on single selection, which is right here. We want to make sure the patch is normal. Okay. And you want to make sure that source is selected. Diffusion is fine at number 5. So what I'm going to do is, let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay, high quality image here. I am going to start circling a blemish. So let's say if there's a blemish here. Circle, drag down. Circle, drag to the side. Circle, drag it on out. Circle, and we gonna drag. Circle, and drag. Circle, and drag. So we're just gonna do this for a bit. Could be tedious, could be fun. Now, I do use a tablet to do this, an editing tablet, which is what is allowing me to do it so quickly. I use a Wacom tablet. When I bought it, it was about $500. I don't know how much it costs now. It's not necessary to get the tablet. I know some people who can't do it with the tablet. But I personally think that the tablet is the quickest way for me to do it because the tablet comes with a pen. So I just use the pen and I'm able to quickly do this. But you can do it with your mouse as well. All right, with practice, you will get it. With practice, you definitely can do it. And this generative fill menu keeps popping up. Just make sure you don't select anything on that menu by accident. That's why every time I do it, I click away when I'm done before I move on to the next blemish. Now, you may not realize what I'm doing. I'm going to show you the before and after in a second. I'll show you the before and after in a second, you guys. So there's still more to go, but look at the before and look at the after. Before, after. Before, after. Yay! We're going to continue. And we don't need to get every single little blemish, you know what I'm saying? But we need to get the major ones out the way before we move on to the next step. We're getting the major ones out the way. Anything you want to remove from the face, now is the time to do it. Okay? Let's move down a little bit. I want to clean up the beard, right? So I'm going to start circling off pieces of the beard that I don't want. I'm gonna circle and drag. Circle and drag. Circle and drag. The smaller the circle is, the better, to be honest with you. So I really should not rush this. Because, like, once you start doing these big old circles, it kind of looks, let me think. I'm just removing pieces of the beard. Oops. Okay, let's see. So we're gonna do before, after. So the beard is cleared up a bit. Let's move down some. There's a blemish on the chest. I'm gonna circle it and drag that down. Circle and drag. Circle and drag. Circle and drag. Circle and drag. You guys get the point with circling and dragging. Okay? All right. Let me see if I want to do anything with the hands. I'm cool with the hands. I usually just leave the hands as is. It is what it is. Okay? So this is what we got so far. So this is the before and this is the after. Before and after. Does anyone have any questions so far? Remember, this is a live Q&A. So ask away. If not, we're going to move on to the next phase, which is the frequency separation, right? This is what gives it that airbrush Photoshop effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this copy and I'm going to drag and drop it over this plus sign. And I am going to call the top layer high. And I'm going to call the bottom layer low. Okay? So I'm going to make this invisible for a second. I'm going to make sure I'm selected on low. And I'm going to go to filter. I'm going to go to blur. And I'm going to go to Gaussian blur. Okay? Okay. Where is my Gaussian blur? Right here. So here we have Gaussian blur. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I'm looking for the subject of my image. And I'm just going to drag him into view. And as you can see, it's on 4.9 pixels and it looks a little bit blurry. So depending on the image, depends on the radius. So 4.9 pixels is perfect for me. Let's say if it was another image, you might find that 48 might be perfect. You might find that 2 might be perfect. The purpose of Gaussian blur is to pretty much increase it where you start to not see the texture of the image anymore, right? So it was on 4.9. This is when you're starting to not see the texture on the face. Just the beginning. You don't need to do it OD. You don't need to do it too much. Just the beginning of when you start to not see texture on the face. Let's see what 5.0 looks like. 5.0 looks like 4.9 to me, right? Let me do 4.9 again. 4.9. Yeah. So this is the beginning of when you start to not see the texture on the face. Let me just do 5, you guys. I'm so like, what should I do? And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Right? So this is what our image looks like. It looks blurry, especially because the high is kind of invisible right now, right? I removed the visibility of high. So now I'm going to click on the high, and here we have our previous image. And when I click on high, I am going to go to image. I'm going to go to apply image. Okay? And we're going to get this here. Now, when we get this here, where it says layer, we want the layer to say low. This is the name of our low layer. We want it to say low. We're channeling it off of our layer called low, right? We want the channel to be RGB. Instead of the blending being multiply, we want it to be subtract. So I'm going to click on subtract. The scale should be 2, and the offset should be 128. Okay? And I'm going to click OK. Yay. Now, where it says normal, I'm going to change it to linear light. Right here. And now it looks like we have our image again. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select on high. I'm going to hit the shift key and I'm going to select on low. So I have both of them selected. And I'm going to right click it. And I am going to create a new group from layers. All right. It's asking me to name the group. I am going to name this frequency separation. Okay. And I'm going to click OK. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. I'm going to hide the high again. And I'm going to go to low. And I'm going to go back to my mixer brush. Right? For the mixer brush, you want to make sure that the wet is at 9%. The load is at 75%. The mix is at 90%. The flow is at 100%. This circle here, we need it to be at 10%. And the brush angle needs to be at 2%. These are the settings. Okay? Make sure this right here is checked off. Make sure this is clean brush. And what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in just at the face, but you don't want to be zoomed in too much because now we're going to start blending the tones together, okay? Don't mind that it looks blurry, and when we start blending these tones together, it's gonna look a little plasticky, okay? But that's okay. And you want to do this at a distance and not all the way zoomed in so that you can make sure that the tone looks blended properly. So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to start using my mixer brush and blending. And you can see that it's smoothing out the skin. Okay? Look at that. It's smoothing the skin. So we're going to do that. Smoothing the skin. Okay? We're going to come here. You make my brush a little smaller. And we're just smoothing it out. We're blending the different tones of the face together. Okay? We're going to come down here and do the chin. And if you want to get an idea of what this looks like, look at this. Okay? You're already getting that airbrushed effect. And it looks good because if you do this, this is how the face looked before, and this is how it's looking now. And we want to keep the texture of the face. Where it says hi, that is the texture of the face. We're just going underneath that texture and blending things out, making it look smooth, you guys. Let's get this live to 15 likes, you guys. Remember, if you guys have any questions, I know this is a different type of live because we do a lot of mid-journey, but sometimes it's a little bit more than mid-journey. And even though this looks like something that's a professional photography, this is something that you can also use for your personal brand. Those people who are posting those nice edited images on Instagram on their personal page, this is what they're doing. They have their camera and they're doing their edits. So we're going to continue to smooth it out. We're smoothing out, okay? Because we want everything to look smooth. We want the colors to look blended. We're just smoothing it out, you guys. Okay? Now, let's see. This is why you do it at a distance to make sure everything looks, as it should. And you can only tell it looks as it should once it's zoomed out. If it's not, whoops, if it's not zoomed out, you're not going to see. You're not going to see it properly. Okay? And this just helps with the skin texture, not the skin texture, but just like the tones, right? You want your person to look nicely toned. So you gotta blend, 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 blend. Now we're gonna blend the chest area. Blend, blend, blend. So it's removing all of these spots, all of these marks. You see? Look. Removing all of the marks on the chest, and we're blending. We're smoothing out the skin. And once we turn our high layer back on, we will get the texture of the skin back. But right now, we're just smooth, making the skin smooth. You want your image, the person in your image, to have nice, smooth skin. Okay? And if you want like look at this. And if you still can't tell what the difference is, look at this. Okay? And this is how you make natural edits. Y'all ever see these images that people post online, like whether it be a photographer or whoever, and it just looks too edited, too plastic? I hate those type of images. We're smoothing the skin, we're making everything look nice, but at the same time keeping a realistic texture of the skin and making it look natural but still edited. Okay? So we're just gonna smooth that out. Gonna smooth that out. Smooth out the neck. Blend the tones. Okay? Now, this is not only for skin. As you can see, the suit is wrinkled. Okay? So guess what we're gonna do? We're going to smooth out some, not all, some of the wrinkles. Now, remember, if you are taking images of yourself and editing it, or whether you're doing it for someone, you always want to make sure that you tell them to iron their clothes, because you still need some type of wrinkle, right? You can't like smooth out all the wrinkles, or else the person will just look very flat. Okay? I had a customer once, and their clothes were very wrinkled, and they wanted me to edit it, and you know, it ended up becoming a disagreement because they were not understanding that you need to have, it can't be super duper wrinkled, but you need to have, natural, like everything can't be wrinkled, but you need to have some space for some natural stuff like this too. If I were to make all of this flat, if I were to remove all the wrinkles, I guarantee you, this person would look very weird. Their arm would look very flat and very stiff. And we don't want that. These are minor wrinkles, so we're able to just get away with smoothing it out. So we're smoothing this out, you guys. We're smoothing some of these wrinkles out. And if you want to see, look. So we're going to smooth out these wrinkles. Smooth it on out. See, I'm not going to smooth out this one. It will just look too unnatural. It will look too unnatural. So you want to keep the natural looking lines. Okay? So I think this is okay. And look. This is the before. This is the after. Let me zoom in more for you guys to see. This is the before. This is the after. Let's come over here. This is the before. This is the after. Let's look at the suit. This is the before. This is the after. Okay? And that is how we edit that image, you guys. Now, the next thing that I want to do is sometime I do like to add a little extra flair to some things, right? I'm a creative. I want to add some creative elements to this. Like, yeah, the background is white. That's cool. That's cute and all, you know? But maybe we want to do a little bit more. So before I take the next step, I am happy with the way this looks, first of all. If you still want to make some changes, you can. So like if I click on low and I come here and I make some of the changes with my mixer brush here to fix more of these wrinkles, I can. Okay, I can do that. If I want to do something to the skin, I can. Let me make the brush smaller. I like to look at it from a distance so that I can see how it's going to look. You can make your little changes and just go with how the skin flows, okay? Let me make it even smaller for the face. And you can see the changes in real time. Okay? Look at this. You gonna tell me that this don't look professional? This is what y'all be seeing on Instagram when people be doing their professional birthday shoots. This is the before. This is the after. This is the before. This is the after. Hey, all right? I just love this, you guys. Okay? So, the next thing I'm going to do, once I'm happy with this image, which I am, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to do Command Option Shift E. Yep. And that's just going to put everything in one layer. So even if I close out this group, the frequency separation is now included in this image. So this is the before image, the whole before image, and this is the whole after image. The whole before image, the after image. Look how smooth the skin looks. Let's zoom into this, okay? Look at this. We still have skin texture, which is important. We did not want to lose the texture of his skin. That is a no-no. We need the texture. So this is the before and this is the after with texture. Texture is important. Okay? So this is how it looks. Really nice, really dope. The next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to go to Envato Elements. So Envato Elements is this tool that I like to use. It's like a website. Let me show you. Here we are in Envato Elements. And I'm going to look for like flames, right? I want to add flames to this image. I don't want video. I want photos. So maybe something like this. Let's see. Let's see all. We're looking for a flame. Maybe something like this. So I'm going to download it. And let me look for roses, actually, too. Let me look for some roses. But I want something that's like white or black background. We could use something like this, too. But let me see. Falling roses. I want a white background because I want to be able to remove the background a certain way. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about in a second. Let me see. Let's try this one. I don't know if I'm gonna get it to do what I needed to do, but we're gonna find out. So let's go back to Photoshop. And now that I'm here on this layer, I'm going to find my image that I just downloaded. So first I'm gonna do the flame. And I am going to mess around with these settings. So first of all, let me place it. Mess around with these settings to see which one I can use. Actually, it doesn't look like I could use any of these. I don't think the background is... Maybe I could use lighter color. Let me see. Screen color dodge, lighter color. Let me see. No. Absolutely not. I have another image. Let me see. Let me do this one. All right. Let me grab this image. Let's see something real quick. Let's see how I can position this. Let me see if I can find a better blending mode for this. I'm not 100% feeling it. But I'm seeing how I can use it to my advantage. If I wanted to add some flames. All right, let's say if I had it here, and I'm gonna come over to the erase tool, and I'm just gonna come in here, and I'm gonna rasterize the object. It says smart object must be rasterized before proceeding. And I'm just going to erase, right? Erase some parts of it. Just want a little bit of flame, just a little bit of flame. Okay. And then I had the roses. Let me see. And I can rotate it. But actually, instead of doing this, I'm going to show you guys something even cooler. Hold on. I'm not getting the effect really that I want from these. But let me show y'all something cooler. Okay, so we have the flames here, right? I'm going to remove the flames. Another thing we could do is we could click on our lasso tool. And I can circle over this like this. Because we do have generative AI now. And I really haven't done major photography since generative AI came out. So I'm going to say add flames. So let's see what this gives us. And I'm going to click generate. Let's see if AI can give us the win. Let's see if AI can give us the win. AI does take some time sometime. Okay. So this is what it gave us. Let's see what other options there are. And we can pretty much see the options here. I don't think these flames look too realistic. I mean, they look realistic, but I don't know how I feel about them. Let me say add red flames instead. Trying to really add, a little something to this image. AI has entered the building for Photoshop as well, so that is an amazing thing. And those are other ways that we can make this image fun. So I'm just letting that load. Seems to be taking a bit, but we're going to give it some time. Okay, so it says the service is not responding. Check your internet. Try again. Why? Let's try again really quick. I do agree it was taking a little bit longer than it should have. Let's see. Okay. Alright, I don't like these flames, so we're not gonna go with the add flames. We can do other stuff, so I can come in the lasso tool, and let me say, add falling red roses and white roses. Let's see. Generate. Okay, I like this. I like the first one. Okay, so we can keep this one. It's given Valentine's Day. Okay. Let's see. What else can we do? We can add some more. I'm gonna say. So when we add some more, we have to click on the layer, and I'm gonna say add falling red roses and white roses. And the reason why I'm saying red roses and white roses and not red and white roses is because I don't want it to give me a rose that is both red and white. So that's why I'm separating those words. Okay, this is what we got. Let's see, what else is there? Okay, I think I like this one. I think this is cute. It's giving. And let me just add some more on this side. And I'm going to say the same thing. Add falling red roses and white roses. And I'm going to generate. Let's see. Okay. I don't know if it's doing a little bit too much, but I can dig it. Let me see if I could actually make it smaller. I can. But once I do that, it kind of messes up like the line of the shadow. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it back to where it was. But yeah, this is what we got. I don't like this, so I'm going to delete this. I'm okay with it being on those three sides. I'm thinking what I could add here. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty cool with it like this, to be honest with you. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I'm cool with it like this. So, once again, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to do Command Option Shift E, which shows me everything. I'm going to make invisible everything below that, but I'm still keeping the layers. And as you guys can see, before and after. Before and after, you guys. Like, this is magic before and after. And that, my friends, is how you are able to use Lightroom and that is how you use Lightroom and Photoshop, you guys. That is how you use Lightroom and Photoshop. So we're gonna end the live here. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this session. I won't be back until next Monday. And, go on the Facebook group and give me ideas of what you would like to see on the live. Someone suggested that I did Photoshop, so I did Photoshop. We always do a lot of mid journey, so we can also still do mid journey. But I really wanted to touch on Photoshop. I might do a little bit more Photoshop next week. I don't know yet. But this was the Photoshop live. This is the first Photoshop live that we ever did on this channel. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you are not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, here is the QR code. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. There's no gatekeeping on this channel. And look at the amazing, beautiful image that I helped you guys, that I showed you guys how to create. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Once again, this is something that matters. When it comes to Photoshop, we think a lot about Midjourney and we think about a lot of the things that we're doing for our brands and our businesses, but we also need to think about some of the manual work that we can do in our personal branding. These two images right here are two images of me, okay, in my home photography studio. And I was able to take these images and post them on Instagram and have them look amazing like this because I use my editing techniques to edit these images. It's great editing. It's eye-catching content. You see this, it's gonna grab your eye. It definitely boosted my brand and visuals because it helped me get the likes, and most importantly, it helped me stand out. And I am the person who's selling my work, right? Because I'm selling my website services. I'm selling creating AI generated images. I'm selling, the one-on-one growth sessions. So why would you buy if you are not seeing what the result is, what you can create out of something? Okay? That is why this matters. Sometimes we're shy about posting our pictures on social media. Sometimes the images don't come out how you would like it to because maybe you have a pimple, maybe you have a blemish, maybe you got that lace front and the lace is lacing. All of these things happen, and you're able to come in here and do these simple edits and fixes. We've been on live for about an hour. It takes way less than an hour to do this. It actually takes like 15 minutes. But because I was demonstrating, this is why it came to this, But I hope you guys were able to learn from this. I hope you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel. I am going to show you the before and after once more just because I think it looks so amazing. So this is the before. And let's say if you take a photo shoot and you see something like this, you may think that your photo has no hope. People think that the raw images are supposed to look like what the finished image looks like. No, this is the raw image. The job is to take the raw image and turn it into the retouched finished image. The wonderful image, the great image, the image that you can post online on social media. If you take your photo and it looks like this, right? Another thing, a lot of people, right? Let's say if you're starting a photography business, let's say if you have the backdrops, you don't need to keep cutting off the piece of paper every single time. You're gonna run out of paper. You have to reuse the paper. And this is what we do to reuse the paper. We paint and we blend. We blend, okay? We paint and we blend. And we still have his natural shadow, but the background looks amazing because it's blended. Okay? He got the blemish on his chest. Blemish is gone. Blemish is on the skin. Blemish is gone. Unnecessary wrinkles on the suit. Wrinkles are gone. Okay? So that is the point. That is why this matters. These are the tools that you need. Lightroom and Photoshop, you only need those two tools to level up your brand. If you have a business and you want to take the model images yourself, even though I taught you how to take them on Midjourney, you should still use Midjourney because you're going to get the images you desire. But let's say if you have your models and you don't want to invest in a photographer, okay? Photographers are expensive. I know because I am one. I know how much I charge for something like this. And imagine when you're not giving a client just one picture, you're giving them multiple pictures. It costs. But you can do this yourself. So for the people who want to take their brand images themselves, who don't want to pay for a photographer, you could even take the image with an iPhone, which I don't recommend, but you can, because the iPhones, they give their, the lens is doing what it needs to do nowadays. But like I said, I use my Canon 5D Mark IV. Love that camera. I use a professional flash, but there are other ways that you could do this as well. But all you need is Lightroom and Photoshop, and you're going to get the image that you desire. So that is where I'm going to leave it for tonight. I do want to remind you guys once more of the branding services that we have. They are a really good deal. And if you use code June10 and you're a first time buyer, you do get 10% off. You'll see it once you start scrolling through the website. You'll see the pop-up come up. And you should also join our newsletters. I haven't sent out any email marketing in a while, but I will be again because email marketing is effective. The issue is just time, But basically, check out our services. We have the Your Path, Your Plan custom growth sessions, the logo services. You guys can see what I do with the picture. So now imagine what I do with the logo, okay? The Shopify website, which is a very popular product that we have, a very popular service that we have. The brand promo, if you want your brand to be shouted out on this live. The account setup services. You don't know where to start. You don't know how to set up the Facebook group, how to set up the Facebook page. My Facebook group from this screenshot says 704 members, but we're at 800 right now. We're at 800 plus members. And we can get you there, okay? We can get you there. Facebook groups are important because that is where you can communicate. Imagine you're communicating in a group with 800 people. By next month, that group is going to have 900 people. Then it will have 1,000 people. And then it just grows from there. You have to put in the groundwork. I started putting in the groundwork in mid-October, and now we're in mid-February. So November, December, January, February, we're 4 months in. Within 2 months, I got monetized. Within 4 months, I have 800 members in my group. Okay? If I can do it, you can do it too. And I can help you with the account setup. We get started, we set up that account. We have the Canva and Midjourney one-on-one classes because sometimes we need a little extra attention. We need a little extra help. And sometimes we want to focus on something that's not too broad. We want to focus on something that's specific to us, to our brand. And that is what these one-on-one personalized master classes are designed for. And the best part is they are recorded. So you do get the recording of it as well. The YouTube monetization session where you get that step-by-step monetization plan, because like I mentioned, I am monetized on YouTube and it only took me 2 months. And if I was a little bit more consistent, it would have happened sooner. But I'm not complaining because I'm monetized now. And that's another reason why I can go from going on live every day to going on live once a week, because the YouTube check is coming in. Okay? I can teach you all of this stuff. And the YouTube thumbnail design. If you are interested in starting a YouTube channel, your thumbnails is what grabs your audience. Your thumbnails is what makes your brand your brand. Your thumbnails is what makes people want to click. So I definitely do provide this service where I can create custom thumbnail designs for you. It is not just one thumbnail. There are multiple options that you can choose from with how many thumbnails you want to get. There's 1 thumbnail, there's 2 thumbnails, there's 5 thumbnails. You select which one you want. And last but not least, the custom AI visuals for your brand, because you want your brand to look good. You want your brand to pop. Okay? You want to have professional looking images, whether it's an image that you just learned how to edit on Photoshop or an image that is created for you using AI. Look at these images. They look like real people. So, and it's not only about the people, it's about the products, the balloons, the cars. There are people who have organic skincare lines and I create images for that. There are people who have mock-ups for their t-shirts and all types of things, okay? So definitely check out these branding services because they're definitely going to help you move to the next level. All right. So that is what I'll leave you guys with today. I'm going to go ahead and take this link and I'm going to post it in the comments. So make sure you guys go follow it. I do notice that, hey, the comments were quiet today, but it's okay because I'm teaching you guys a new thing. And I know sometimes you guys need to just absorb the information. But if you like the live, make sure you go to the Facebook group and let me know right on the wall. Let people know what your experience was. If you learned something today, if you're ready to take your Adobe tool and go edit, let me know. Put it in the Facebook group. Share it with the community. Welcome yourself to the JC fam. All right. We're all one family, the JC fam, June Creation fam. Join the Facebook group. If you're not already subscribed to YouTube, once again, subscribe to us on YouTube. We go live every Monday at 7 p.m. All right. So I'm going to leave you guys here and I will talk to you guys the next time. Have an amazing night.
Yeah, this one's for the makers, the dream chasers, the ones who see the world and then reshape it. The June creation, yeah, 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 yeah. It started with a spark, turned into a flame. The June creation, now the world knows the name. Building dreams with precision, carving out the path from digital tools to success that lasts. Faceless but present, the vision is loud, innovating every step, inspiring the crowd. AI-driven moves, creativity and stride. The June creation is the movement worldwide. Late nights, big plans, hustle on the climb. YouTube lives at 7, always on time, teaching how to rise, how to pivot and thrive. The June creation shows you how to arrive. Every project a masterpiece, every tool refined. From tech consultations to content design, turning concepts into action, ideas into gold. The June creation is a story that's bold. June creation, where the future takes shape, breaking all the boundaries, no limits, no gates, turning passion into purpose, leading the way. The June creation sets the tone every day. No ceilings, no chains, we break every frame. The June creation rewrites the game, empowerment and grind perfectly aligned. The June creation isn't just a brand, it's a state of mind. State of mind, state of mind, state of mind. Let the vision grow, let the legacy shine. For the ones who dreamed it, we redefine time. Creators, innovators, the spark of the nation. The future belongs to the June creation. Keep moving, keep building, no hesitation. Turn your passion into purpose. This is the June creation, the June creation.